If you've been struggling with sciatica and the core training, the stretching that you've been doing hasn't been working, and in fact, it's probably been making it worse, this video is for you. I'm gonna show you the best exercises that I know to not only reduce the symptoms, but actually eliminate it for good. Once you have these exercises down and you're doing them on a routine, the results are gonna come, but you can't just stop there. You've got to start implementing exercise into the strategies that I'm gonna share with you today. Now, if you don't have a strategy with exercise and you wanna know where to start, make sure you go get my free guide, fitnessforbackpain.com/pain-free training. I show you how to approach exercise with sciatica, with chronic back pain, post-fusion, whatever your situation might be. That is the best resource that I can share with you, absolutely free, to show you exactly what to do. fitnessforbackpain.com/pain-free training. All right, so let's start on the floor. I'm gonna go from easiest to hardest, or maybe more advanced, but essentially we have to start somewhere, and being face down on a mat or on the carpet is, in my opinion, the best place to start. What you're doing here, face down, no extensions, no cobra poses, nothing. You're just deep breathing into that low back, trying to get these muscles to soften, trying to get your glutes and your erectors and your obliques and your QLs, all these muscles that make up not just your core, but your low back. You've got to get these things to calm down, and being face down on your stomach is a great place to start. A simple level up from being flat on your face is having a pillow under your pelvis. Sometimes being flat on your face is a little bit too much extension at first for somebody who may have sciatica symptoms. So bringing a pillow under your pelvis or under your lower stomach is a great place to pull yourself a little bit out of extension and into more of a neutral place. Now, you're gonna experience different symptoms just simply being on your stomach. Sometimes people have a hard time getting their low back to relax. It's almost like they're like, oh, and they feel this tension and tightness. But the more you do it in small increments, you're gonna discover that your low back begins to relax. It begins to let go of that protection or that guarding that's going on in the low back, because it doesn't want to create more symptoms. Your brain doesn't want to hurt you, right? So it's going to do whatever it can to keep you from doing anything outside of what it thinks is safe to protect you. And this case here is, if you put the time in, you be patient with your body, your low back is going to relax, and you'll be able to increase the difficulty or go to a different variation rather quickly. Now, phase 3, or the third variation of being on your stomach, is working now into gentle extensions. The best way to start this is by simply taking a fist and putting it under your chin and relaxing. So you're going to breathe, you're going to relax. The same things you were doing when you were face down on your stomach, but now you're gonna have your fist as a gentle kind of prop for your head. As soon as your head comes up, everything downstream from your head goes into gentle extension. So you're gonna start with one fist. As you get more comfortable, as your low back relaxes, you're able to comfortably be in this position for a little bit longer. Then you can stack a second fist. Now you're holding that second fist, you're relaxing your low back, you're gently increasing this extension over time, not rushing it, not trying to go from face down on the stomach to full cobra poses in a matter of 15 minutes, but you have to work up to this, and stacking fists would be your next level. Naturally, you're gonna want to add more extension into this position. So going from stacking fists, we'll go into more of like a propping yourself up on your forearms. Again, you're trying to relax. You can experiment with either bracing your glutes or contracting your abs a little bit. If sometimes just relaxing into that low back extension is a little bit too much for you, then you can experiment with bringing yourself back down, contracting or bracing your glutes, and then gently going back up. If you don't feel any kind of pressure or pain while doing this, that might be something that you incorporate into your extensions until you're able to fully relax. You have to kind of twist and tweak how you're approaching it, but ultimately relaxed, gentle extension is what you're going for. Whether you're on two fists, one fist, or on your forearms is up to you and your body at that specific time. Now, continuing on, the last phase of what we'll be doing on our stomach is more of a traditional cobra pose. As you can see, there's so many stages leading up to what we're doing here, but you can't just jump right into more of that traditional cobra pose position. What I'm doing here is just slowly working myself into more and more extension with pressing up. Now, some people do really well with gentle reps, as in you're going up and you're coming back down. You're going up and you're coming back down. Or others might do well with pressing up, holding for a few seconds, taking a few deep breaths, and then coming back down. There is no right or wrong way of doing it. What's wrong is how you're applying it to your specific situation. So you have to become a detective. You have to ask yourself the questions. Do I do better with reps, or do I do better with just endurance, just holding it there and trying to relax? The only way you can find that answer is by experimenting. Now, I wanna add in a quick bonus when it comes to sciatica going down one dominant side. So let's say it's going down the right side of the right leg. One way that I have seen to be pretty powerful when it comes to using extension to eliminate single leg sciatica is the army crawl approach. So essentially you're going to take the leg that is affected and you're going to get yourself into a army crawl position. So you're gonna hike that right or that left leg up to a more or less a 90-degree position at the knee or the hip. Once the leg's hiked up, you're going to then work on laying on your stomach, doing deep breathing, stacking fists, working from your forearms, or actually doing more of a traditional Cobra Pose push-up, whatever fits you best. Let's move on to standing. Now, this is what you typically would see if you were to Google sciatica exercises. You might get some level of back extension, some old guy putting his hand on his back and having that face. But essentially, it's a really effective tool if done appropriately and at the right time. And if it fits you, then I want to encourage you to continue to use it. I typically take clients through some sort of stacking procedure. Stacking is essentially just realigning all the segments of the body so you're in a good, healthy, comfortable, neutral position. And then I'm gonna take my hands on my low back as a stability or a support or like a biofeedback tool. So I feel safe, my brain feels safe, I'm not gonna hurt my low back. Take my hands, put it on my low back. I'm going to gently brace my core, quick breath out, and I'm going to slowly work towards extensions. What extensions, while in a standing position, are not, is you thrusting your hips or your pelvis forward. We're not trying to smush our groin area towards whatever's in front of us. What we're doing is we're trying to stand in this really neutral position and then go back and extend at the low back, working on gentle extension in a standing position. So the final two exercises I want to share with you, one's similar, but you're going to combine these two. Now, I don't talk about decompression a lot, especially in this video here, because we're just talking about simple movements that really help sciatica, and it's going to be extensions at some capacity. So when you're combining decompression and extensions, it can become a lot. And some people don't actually need decompression. I ruptured my L5-S1 disc. I was having sciatica type symptoms way back in the day, and traction is what my therapist put me on. It was basically just pulling me apart, and the stretch felt really good, but it would wreck my low back afterwards. So what you wanna do here is kind of combine the two. I'm using a tabletop where I'm just going to put my arms locked out onto some kind of back stool or couch or countertop, and I'm going to shift my weight onto that specific countertop. And what I'm doing is I'm trying to not go completely hanging. I don't want my feet just dangling. I want to kind of shift my weight to my shoulders and my arms and allow the weight of my lower body to gently try to pull on that low back area. From there, once I've done my decompression, then I will stand up and I will then go about doing the standing back extensions like you see me doing in the video here. I'm simply going from decompression to gentle extensions and going back from gentle extensions to decompression. There's no formula for doing this. You can do it 1 set, 2 set, 3 set. It's gonna all be based around you. You're gonna have to do, if you don't have a coach, if you don't have someone helping you, you're gonna have to just figure it out on your own. Now, if that's scary to you, if you're like, I don't feel like messing with it every time I try to do something on my own, I always nip in a flare-up. Feel free to reach out to me, william@fitnessforbackpain.com. More than happy to try to help you as best as I can, or maybe us working together would be a better option so we can really dial in what you're doing. So this is it. These are the best sciatica reduction strategies that you can use, implement into your weekly routine. Start small, work your way up, but ultimately this is the best stuff. Then from here, you have to make sure you're adding in the strength training. As you start feeling better, as your symptoms are reducing, you've got to build resilience in that body. You've got to build core strength. You have to build lower body strength, upper body strength. If you don't know what to do, go to fitnessforbackpain.com/pain-free training. It's the best resource on the internet for you to actually get back into the gym confidently and not walk out with more symptoms than you walked in with. fitnessforbackpain.com/pain-free training. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next episode.